Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. أما بعد أحبتي في الله السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أسأل الله كريم رب العرش العظيم أن يتولنا في الدنيا والآخرة. We ask that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala helps us and protects us and preserves us and helps the ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam return back to the sunnah of the Prophet alayhi salatu wa salam. In a beautiful statement by Imam Al-Barqaawi Al-Hanifi, rahmatullahi alayhi rahmatin wasi'a, a great Hanifi scholar, he mentions about this concept. What is mashru'? What should we be doing when we go to the graves and what we should not be doing? So he says, وَمِنْهَا إن الذي شرعه النبي عليه السلام عند زيارة القبور إنما هو تذكر الآخرة واتعاظ واعتبار بحال المزرور. He says, مزور. He says, and from the things that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam has legislated when it comes to visiting the graves is that the person who is going to visit, that they should be reflecting on the hereafter, and they should be reminded and gain lessons from the one they are visiting, meaning the one who's in the grave, the inhabitant of the grave. And he said, وَالْإِحْسَانِ إِلَيْهِ بِدُعَى لَهُ وَالتَّرَاحِمْ عَلَيْهِ. And also by being good with the dead person. Guess how? Bidu'a. By having ihsan, being righteous and good towards them by supplicating for them. Bidu'a lahu, for him. And seeking mercy for them from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then he says, حتى يكون زائر محسنا إلى نفسه وللميت. So this way, the person who is visiting the graves, they are being good for themselves because they're doing something that's going to get rewarded by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they're doing something good, which is a good deed, which is going to help the deceased by supplicating for them and asking Allah to have mercy upon them. And then he says, فَقَلَبَ هَؤُلَاءِ الْأَمْرِ وَعَكَسُوا الدِّينِ وَجَعَلُوا الْمَقْصُودِ بِزِيَارَةِ الشِّرْكِ بِالْمَيْتِ وَدُعَاهُ وَسُؤَالُهُ هَوَائِجْ وَإِسْتِنْزَالِ بَرَكَاتٍ مِنْهُ وَنَحْوُ ذَلِكَ. So then he goes on to say, he said, but the issue's gotten upside down. It's become the opposite. He said those people, so he's talking about those extreme Sufis. فَهَوْلَاءِ أَمْرٌ وَعَكَسُوا الدِّينِ. They've turned the deen upside down. They've made it the opposite. And they have made what is the intent for visiting the graves, they have changed it. And they've changed it to a type of visit which contains shirk, polytheism, bil-mayt, for the dead, that they are having polytheistic beliefs and worship of the dead. And then he says, وَدُعَاهُ, and supplicating to him, meaning the dead, and asking him for the needs, and seeking blessings from them, or from him, the one who's dead. And other than that, from, wicked practices. And then he goes on to say, فَصَارُوا مُسِيئِينَ إِلَى أَنفُسِهِمْ وَإِلَى الْمَيْتِ. What a beautiful hikmah the ulama have. So Imam Al-Barqaawi Al-Hanafi, he ends this little section and he says, so then therefore, the issue has become evil in two ways. For the person who's visiting the graves, because now they're getting sin, you're committing polytheism, you're committing shirk. And then for the one inhabiting the graves, the people in the grave, because they're going to gain no benefit from you. And in fact, if you're worshiping them, if they were pleased with it, then they were taghut. They were people who were, false deities. So everyone's getting punished and suffering from this. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Almighty, to accept our good and forgive our evil and revive the ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam ala sunnat al-Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam wa sallallahu wa sallam ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam.